I was already moving when my father slipped the note into my palm. The music swelled. The doors opened. The aisle stretched ahead like a promise I was about to break. Fake a fall. Now. I didn't look at him. I didn't have to. My knees buckled on cue. Silk tore against skin. The breath left my lungs in a sound too raw to be practiced. Gasps rippled through the room. Flowers tipped. The priest froze, a paused frame in a scene gone wrong. I hit the floor hard enough to sell it. As hands rushed toward me and voices blurred, I stared at the ceiling and counted. 3, 4. Control is quieter when you pretend to be helpless. The sirens came fast. The doors closed. The world narrowed to white light and antiseptic. That's when my father leaned in and said the sentence that split my life in two. He found out who took his place. I didn't ask who he was. I already knew. I met Daniel 8 years ago at a charity gala my father sponsored. He wore confidence like a tailored suit and spoke about legacy as if he respected it. My father did. That was the first mistake. Daniel learned quickly how to mirror trust, how to repeat your values back to you until you believe they were his. He proposed in a rainstorm, hands shaking, eyes wet. I said yes because I wanted love to be that simple. Because my father smiled that rare, unguarded smile. Because I didn't know yet that betrayal doesn't arrive loudly. It rehearses. The changes were subtle. A canceled lunch. A shifted password. His phone never left his hand. His voice softened for strangers and sharpened for me. I told myself weddings do that to men. Then came the slip. A message preview cut off mid-sentence. Can't believe she still doesn't know you're. I didn't confront him. I saved the moment. Screenshots are a form of patience. The truth didn't come all at once. It stacked. A forged signature on a loan. A shell company tied to an address that didn't exist. A photo from a woman who thought she was engaged to him under another name. The final piece was the hardest to swallow. Daniel wasn't Daniel. My father found it first. Quietly. Thoroughly. He always did his homework after trusting the wrong people. The real Daniel, my Daniel, had vanished 3 years earlier, buried under debt and a collapsed startup. The man I was marrying was his former partner. His replacement. Wearing his life like a stolen coat. I didn't cry. I planned. The wedding became my stage. I let the dress be ordered, the venue booked, the guest list confirmed. I smiled through fittings and tastings while moving assets into accounts he couldn't touch. I revised the prenup. Small clauses buried in legal language that read like mercy and functioned like a blade. I called the woman from the photo. I listened. I recorded the call. I gave her nothing but the truth and my lawyer's number. I sent quiet emails to the banks. I flagged the signatures. I waited. On the morning of the wedding, my father handed me the note. He had learned one last thing. The real Daniel was alive. And on his way. So I fell. The ambulance stopped the ceremony without suspicion. Concern is the best cover. As they wheeled me out, I saw my almost husband's face drain of color. He tried to follow. He wasn't allowed. In the emergency bay, my father squeezed my hand. He's here, he said. The one who took his place is about to lose everything. I asked for water. I asked for time. They released me an hour later. To cameras, stunned guests, a groom unraveling, and a man near the doors who looked like a ghost dragged into daylight. The real Daniel was thinner. Older. His eyes met mine, then dropped. I walked past my almost husband and took the microphone meant for vows. I'm not faint, I said. I'm finished. The room went still. I told them his real name. I told them about the loans, the forgeries, the women. I introduced the man who had been erased. And the man who had done the erasing. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. The police arrived to applause that sounded like relief. He tried to speak as they cuffed him, tried to explain, to bargain. That's when I leaned close and gave him the only line I'd saved. You wore my future like a disguise, I said. It never fit. After that came silence. Papers signed. Accounts frozen. Apologies I didn't accept. The real Daniel left town. I didn't stop him. Some things aren't mine to mend. Weeks later, I stood alone in my empty apartment. Dress boxed, ring returned. I felt lighter than I expected. Revenge isn't loud when it's done right. It sounds like a door closing. I don't regret the fall. I regret ever believing I had to walk straight into a lie. Justice doesn't always arrive with sirens. Sometimes it comes folded into your palm, timed perfectly, and asks you to trust yourself enough to stumble on purpose, so you can finally stand.